Hello again, my Massachusetts home buyers, sellers, and other real estate geeks. This is your North Shore real estate enabler, Dan Bernal, here in Salem, Mass. And today, you, my clientele, my viewers, have given me my topic as well as a title. I'm going to title this one today. Today's title is, well, I'm not worried about financing. So, because, I'm employed and I know my credit's cool. So, I got this list of houses, like 35 houses I want to check out in about 8 towns. If I find one I like, I'm not worried about financing. Because, okay, let's back up a little bit. I like to equate buying a home in many ways to getting married. In that, and listen kids, I apologize, but this is the fact, statistically, most only last 5 to 10 years. And it's something that most people only do 2, maybe 3 times in a lifetime. It's one of the largest decisions you'll ever make. So you need to take it seriously, and there are certain disclosures that come along with both. If you're getting married, in advance of being issued a marriage license, you need to get a blood test. Well, I know my blood's cool. I don't got any creepy crawlies. I'm not worried about a blood test. Well, how do you know? Maybe you have a genetic predisposition towards Taysachs. What is Taysachs? I have no idea. But some people have a genetic predisposition towards it. And if you're going to get married to somebody else who has a genetic predisposition towards it, you may have a kid with 9, 10 legs. Who knows? I have no idea what Taysachs does. But they need to get you a blood test to find out just basically what you're getting into. Literally, what you're getting into. Well, when you buy a house, you also, if you're going to borrow the money from somebody, which statistically almost everybody does, you have a lot of cash buyers out there, but they represent a very small part of the market, and the rest of the market are people taking out what we know as mortgages. It's really a note with a mortgage attached to it, but we call them mortgages. All right, well, if you don't have a pre-approval, which has already vetted your credit history, your income, your various debts, then you have nothing. No offense, but you are not a buyer if you are not walking around with a pre-approval already established. And let me tell you why. Listen, we are now at 10 straight months of sales growth for single-family homes in Massachusetts. Actually, for all homes in Massachusetts. We are 10 straight months. Each month has been better than that corresponding month the year before as far as new contracts. And I'm not talking by a little. February of 2012, we were up 45% in new contracts to purchase over February 2011. That's not a modest increase. That is real estate's back. Now, in Massachusetts, real estate never really went anywhere. It actually did quite well through the crash. But now, you're talking about a spring full of bidding wars and people going way above asking and properties going under agreement before you have time to get in and take a peek around and walk around and go, yeah, I can see maybe we could do something with this kitchen. We're going to go home and talk about it. By the time you go home and talk about it, it's gone. The good ones are gone right now, and there's a lot more coming on the market. This is a very robust market right now, and it's awesome. Listen, if you buy something, it's going to hold its value, just like it was going to before, for those 5 to 10 years you're likely to own it or be married, no offense. But the fact is, until you get pre-approved, you are not a buyer. Now let me tell you, I'm in the business, right? I sold $6 million worth of real estate last year, over that. But a couple of years ago, when I took out a mortgage on the property I own now, I found an interesting thing on my credit report. Back in 1990, when I was a freshman in college, it's been a while, I joined the Columbia House, or one of those CD clubs where you buy like 20 CDs for a penny, and then every subsequent CD costs you $35, right? So I moved, and I was not smart enough to forward my address at that point, and they sent me a bill for $30 to my old dorm room, which I never got. 17 years later or so, that was sitting there, messing up my credit. It took a phone call, a letter, and it was gone. But if I had not gotten myself a pre-approval well in advance of buying a particular property, I've just cost myself a whole lot of money and a higher interest rate because I don't qualify for that cool one you heard online. If your credit isn't up to it, just because those rates are out there, rates are in the high 3s, not for you. If you own, if you owe Columbia House $30 from 1990, not for you. You're paying a point higher than that because you are a problem. It doesn't mean you can't be solved. It means get informed. Get that blood test before you marry this house well in advance so you know your own self and you know how you can get yourself a better deal and take advantage of what's really going on in the market right now, which is the great benefit of this market is not the low prices. Prices have come down a little bit in Massachusetts, but not dramatically, not in most places. Actually, in most places on the North Shore, they've been going up for a couple of years now. If you were looking for the bottom, you missed it. Great benefit right now, low interest rates. You will save infinitely more money on a low interest rate than shaving 20 or 30 grand off the property price. So, get informed and get pre-approved. I'd be happy to refer you to a half a dozen great people who will vet you, check you out top to bottom, and let you know what you can do to improve your credit situation and get your pre-approval lined up so if you actually go hunting for a house, you can pull the trigger on the one you love. That's it for today. Dan.Bernal at virtualhomes.com, danbernal.com, SalemMARealestate.com. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Twitter, and let's get you a house. Thanks. Bye.